Continuing on from the colonoscopy and the gastroscopy, I did mention that I was due to have a CT scan, which I did have the following week, which happened to be the 30th of March. Unfortunately, I didn't film that. It didn't occur to me to film it, but I will talk you through what happened. So with the CT scan, I was told to get undressed behind these curtains. A nurse will call me when they're ready. And when she called me, went behind another set of curtains, sat in this chair for her to put in the IV? Yeah, the IV, the drip. Oh, that was a disaster in itself, that one. I had a young lady, a young nurse. She must have tried about 2 or 3 times to try and get this needle into me. It wasn't working, so she had to call her senior to do that, and she got it in one go. And then I was called into the CT scan room, I'm presuming that's what you call it. In there, they gave me this solution, I think it's called a contrast, for them to see what's going on within your body. And the guy that actually gave the fluid into my IV did turn around and say that I would feel this niggling sensation to want to pee. So it's not that you want to pee, it's just how the solution works. So just be mindful of that. You'll feel the warmth down below. I'm going to put a picture up of what the CT scan looks like, the CT cylinder looks like. Once I got into the cylinder and he started to drip this solution into the IV, I could hear him over the, I don't know, sort of speakers, whatever, saying to me to breathe in and then breathe out on his commands, which happened a few times through the whole procedure. I'm going to say I was there probably, maybe about 10 minutes. Not even that, to be honest. It felt like a lifetime, I will say that, because one thing I did notice with having the CT scan was, because it was like in a slight cylinder, I felt a bit claustrophobic, and I felt my anxiety starting to pick up. I haven't felt anxious for a while like that, but I did feel the anxiety with that. And I thought, that's interesting. How with the colonoscopy and the gastroscopy, I had no problems, not at all. I'd go back and do that over and over again. But with the CT scan, I felt I felt claustrophobic, and my anxiety levels were starting to raise. At one point, I did say to myself, do I have to say to the guy, you know what, get me out of here. I'm not feeling this. I did feel that anxious. But I tried to calm myself down, breathe through it, follow what he was saying. Had to think some nice thoughts in my head to try and get through it all. But we got through it. Somebody else may sail through that. So once it was all completed, I was sent back into the cubicle where I was before, and the nurse came to take out my IV. And she did say, when you're ready, get changed and ready to go. I said, can I just take a minute? Because I really did feel slightly anxious. I thought, I'm not feeling quite myself at the moment. I suffer with anxiety, so give me a minute. I said, all right, take as long as you want. I'll come back in about 15 minutes just to see how you are. And so I sort of sat in this chair, laid back, and just, like I said, think of England. And for about 10 minutes, and I felt better after that. I thought, right, okay, I've calmed down now. Yeah, think logically. Nothing's going to happen. I'm good. And then I started to get dressed. And that was that. It was, like I said, it was quite a straightforward procedure. Not much to it. Yeah, so I was told I can go home after that, and they'll have the results in a couple of weeks. It took about 3 weeks to get the results of that. I've actually got the results in front of me, so I'm going to tell you what they found. On top of the diverticulosis that I mentioned that I had, their wording was, you were found to have mild diverticular of your large bowel. So that's what I've got. And this This is a benign condition caused by wear and tear of the bowel and does not typically require any surgical treatments. Further to that, your CT scan has identified a small hernia. Now that one I didn't know. I've got a small hernia around my belly button. On top of that, they found that I have multiple tiny stones in both my kidneys, which I already knew of because I had a kidney stone last July, August time, and had a procedure done in September for that. And I'm going to come back and talk about that as well in another video. So I knew about the stones in my kidney. Even though they removed the larger stones, I still had some tiny ones in there. But they're hoping they will find their own way out without having to go under any sort of procedure for that. You also have a bulky uterus. Oh God, the list just goes on. So I've got a bulky uterus, but they said this is most likely due to fibroids. And I thought, I can understand that. Even though I'm not, I haven't had a period for about 9 months now. But before that, with the irregular periods I was having, they were quite heavy, clotty, if you want to put it that way. Yeah, ladies, you know where I'm coming from. So any men watching this, yeah, it may not be for you, but your partner may be going through this. So fibroids, again, wasn't aware I had that. And then on top of that, they also mentioned that I have a 9mm opacity in the upper part of my right lung. So yeah, upper part of my right lung. Again, all new to me. Haven't got a clue about this. But it's funny how a CT scan can pick all this up. They say this may be caused by an infection that I may have had, which I'm not aware of. The only thing I can think of, if I'm thinking about infection, I'm going to go back about 3, maybe 4 years, 2018. October 2018, the back end of October. And I remember that because it was around my mum's birthday, I remember. I had a flu that seemed to... It was never ending. I didn't know when it was going to finish because it lasted from, like I said, I think the last week of October 2018 all the way through till January 2019. I think the first week of January 2019. It started to clear up, I'm going to say, just before Christmas of 2018. But it was still there come the beginning of 2019 and eventually cleared probably mid-January. Around the Christmas period, I said, right, if this hasn't cleared up by the new year, I'm going to go to my doctors and see about this. So that's the only thing I can sort of boil that infection down to. But with that being said, what they've also said on top of that, they've requested for me to have a repeat CT scan in 3 months. And I should receive an appointment in due course, which I did get the letter for that. So that's actually due in middle of July the 18th, I think it was. So, yeah. For someone that came in with blood in their stool, they haven't missed a trick here. These guys are investigating everything here. So I've had, like I said, the gastroscopy, the colonoscopy, had the CT scan, which they picked up on all of this stuff here. Then I've also had a cardiology appointment that's come through. That's going to be next month in June. And that's all because of the cardiology one was because of my anemia and my struggling to breathe when I'm walking and stuff or climbing stairs. So the doctor ordered that for me.
Oh, and let me not forget a chest x-ray that I had in mid-April as well.
As well as I mentioned, a repeat CT scan in July. Yeah, so that's me at the moment. But I'm actually glad that I've gone through this, because I would be none the wiser that I had this going on with my body. I haven't got any symptoms that makes me question, oh, I need to go and see the doctor, or I need to go to the hospital. It was only because of the blood in the stool that made me run down to A&E to investigate that. And with all that, this is what's happened on the back end of this, and these are the sort of tests that they got me going through. Again, I did say I'm going to come back and speak a bit more about the anemia and the iron deficiency. I'm sure there's going to be more. This is where I'm going to leave it until next time.